all seen all sorts of badass scenes in action films and series, but we've listed down the best of the best just for you. So prepare to punch the air and cheer for your favourite characters as we go down the nostalgic memory lane with the 25 most badass DC movie scenes. Margot Robbie isn't who she is here. She really becomes the violent, madly in love Harley Quinn. She's funny, insane, the kind that could snap and kill everyone in a second, and you know what? I love it. And that personality of hers is what carried this scene. She was the highlight here, and that's why this scene spurs lots of anticipation. Her acrobatic fighting style is what distinguishes this escape scenario, not to mention the musical score, which gives the entire action the type of vibe where kicking grown men's asses seems like a piece of cake. Plus, her sneer and spooky, seductive aura when she swings punches was extremely cool too. And oh, I had no idea a scrap of garment could be used as a weapon. When she used it against an unarmed man, it was such a respite in the midst of a heated battle. Plus, her kidnapper's frightening expressions at the beginning of the movie gave me the shivers. If I didn't know it was Harley Quinn that they'd abducted, I'd be scared since these guys just look so cruel. More importantly, it has this amazing fight choreography that balances the themes of class and violence, resulting in an artistic, action-packed moment. So, how can you portray violence in a scene without being violent? Look at this one then. It's the CGI, the drama and the tension that carries this scene, and of course, the people's favourite hero, Superman. This is quite emotionally evoking, and Superman's appearance is right on time to stir the audience's emotions. Yeah, we're always moved when a hero appears in times of need, and that's what Superman did here. This airplane scene is a visual depiction of a heroic character who always saves the day. The music, the build, the way Superman shows up, and the race against time here are all what makes this scene even more cool.
It was perfect.
And of course, let's not forget the out-of-this-world action sequence being an ass-kicker. Superman Returns plane rescue scene was great in building anticipation, and I felt it when the passengers were desperately gasping for air in the middle of a plane crash. Well, though there's not much of a fight scene here, I'm rating this scene cool because it didn't fail to give its audience some kind of tension from how Superman shows up to how he lifted the plane and tried to land it on a baseball field, preventing casualties. The camera movement, angles and shots, the good direction and the drama all make this scene cinematic, serving as seamless visual effects that would really put us in awe.
You are weak, son of hell.
Walls crashing, roads ripping, hero and villain flying in relentless distance with a single punch. Faora vs Superman is top-notch and fun to watch. This was more like a superhuman fistfight kind of scene, and why audiences are getting hyped with this is because of the cool choreography. It's just that, the emotion was there. Imagine a man who's practically God amongst men suddenly engaging in a combat match with his strength. Faora's opening line before she and Superman engage in a fight gives the meaning as to why the entire scene was done like that. Here we see Superman's lightning-fast punches with enough force to break a mountain, but aren't enough when faced with Faora. Faora vs Superman was like an upgraded street brawl involving superhumans, armies, and phew, that helicopter part creates much tension as we see Superman caught between fighting and rescuing. But more than its action sequence, this scene was badass in its entire concept because, come on, it's basically an exception to the rule that men shouldn't fight against women. Faora's a literal walking menace with effed up morals who has to be stopped.
Hey, amigo, let me see your hands.
This is insane. I guess the summoning is the defining moment here. They made Black Adam godly here with all that portrayal of his speed and powers, with the way he threw and slammed the bad guys, plus with the visual effects and soundtrack. This scene was a mood. Well, Black Adam is known for its entertaining action scenes. The way these mercenary thugs, big guys with big guns appeared so little and helpless before him was just so badass. It's showcasing the huge gap of powers between an ancient god and humans, particularly the bad guys, of course.
Wow,
The part where the most sought-after crown was there hanging in the air builds up a lot of anticipation in the audience. It was like you're pushed to wait whether she's going to get the crown. But what truly wrapped up the scenario was when Black Adam landed on the ground, disguising his face in a hoodie, giving the situation a mystery feel. On top of that, the quick action where the other guy was captured by the neck was totally unexpected. And as if that wasn't enough, Black Adam literally turned him to ashes.
How about another joke, Murray?
No, I think we've had enough of your jokes.
What do you get
I don't think so.
when you cross
I think
a
we're
mentally
done
ill
with your
loner
jokes.
with
That's
a
it.
society that abandons him and treats him like trash?
Out of Gotham's chaos, the Joker is born. The tics, the laugh, the expression in his eyes, Joaquin Phoenix really killed this scene. Joker's exaggerated, insane personality, his low justifiable morality, and the theatrical conversations were all outstanding in terms of how all of these characteristics came together to show in a single scene how Joker descended into madness.
They think that we'll just sit there and take it like good little boys, that we won't werewolf and go wild.
That was way too deep and artistic to put all of those in that scene. So you're not going to hate him for being the bad guy, rather you'll sympathize with what he's become. Yeah, Joker is a dark and crude movie, and this scene was even darker. Yet, it's still a wonderful piece. I think this Joker interview scene with Murray was placed in the script so the audience could delve more into the Joker's psyche, as well as understand more of his actions. But oh, we didn't expect that last act, did we? How about another joke, Murray, and bam! Why don't we see that coming? But what really makes this scene badass is the Joker himself. On top of that, the background music was on time, adding chills to the building up tension between Joker and Murray. Few words to sum up this scene, shockingly insane.
The police,
I'll
Gene.
tell you what you get.
Call the police.
You get what you deserve.
Be very careful with the next thing you say.
Like an adopted son.
This scene evokes mixed emotions. How come we didn't know the Batman and Joker were best friends? Well, don't expect much action in this scene. This one is badass basically because our favourite DC superheroes are here. And that dialogue between Batman and Joker was so on board. Well, it's mostly the dialogues that make this scene iconic. It was like each of the characters in the scene, especially Batman and Joker, was highlighted to show more details of their characters. Generally, it was great acting that the scene gets to flesh out both Batman and Joker's weaknesses in that single exchange of dialogue. One aspect of the scene that you'll mostly enjoy is that, at least here, Joker was depicted not just as a fearless madman, at least he was slightly humanized here.
You need me to help you undo this world you created by letting her die.
And Batman was depicted beyond that superhero suit he wears.
You would talk about people who died in my arms. Because when I held Harley Quinn and she was bleeding and dying, she begged me with her last breath.
Most of the entire scene was emotionally charged and surprising. Yeah, we get to see Batman and Joker here being badass not because of action stunts, but because of the words they darted against each other. And well, that part where Superman arrives and where everyone gears up, the soundtrack begins giving chills, but then Joker just laughs. That was a funny, awesome moment.
I often wonder, how many alternate timelines do you destroy the world? Because, frankly, you don't have the cojones to die yourself.
You ready to jump?
This is creepy badass. If we didn't know it was Mera and Aquaman fighting those gigantic creepy creatures, we'd get nervous by then. Its action poetry was distinct from the rest of DC movies. The fight sequence was well choreographed. Well, I was expecting Mera darting the trench with her trident was enough, but the rope part just came out of the blue and it was amazing. The camera shots, the movement, the angle, it all captures the action sequence on that part, and that's just awesome. Plus the horrible creaking sounds coming from those trenches just trigger goosebumps that make us think, yeah, we know he's Aquaman, but how are they going to defeat them?
Get out of here. Get out of here, man!
The visuals, like the heavy storm and the big waves on top of the crazy trench scene, sets a mood of fear, especially for those with thalassophobia. It's given the feels of a horror scene, but then seeing Arthur and Mera in their fight sequence reminds us that, oh, this is just a superhero movie. The CGI has done great, the stunts and the slow-mo shots are just outright perfection. Good thing they swim fast with all those creepy creatures swarming all over them. Nevertheless, this scene isn't only action-packed, but this is so creative that to say badass is just an understatement.
At least you can talk! Who are you?
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
It doesn't matter who we are. Mask put off and bam, surprise, it's Bane on the plane. This was one of the best opening scenes in a movie. It was wild, unexpected, and brutal. That plane being sectioned, shredded, and towed as commandos do a quick blood transfusion to a fake death, combined with Bane and those amazing lines, it was all just perfect.
Was getting caught part of your plan?
Of course.
The part where they realised that they had abducted the wrong guy, more so a very dangerous enemy, they were in a moment of no escape. All these are effective concepts to put in an action scene, and here we see how terrifying Bane really is. What really makes this scene kick-ass is the element of surprise. Imagine doing an action sequence in the air, hanging on that thin rope with flying bullets. Plus, with the plane's empennage suddenly blown off, wow, that was really breathtaking. I wonder how they film stuff like this. Well, I think the very reason why this scene was badass is because it's technically great and it offers one great cliffhanger to think about. Like, why is Bane even on the plane? Well, that's a way to hook you into watching the entire movie, isn't it?
No! They expect one of us in the wreckage, brother.
Have we started the fire?
Yes. The fire rises.
This is no man's land, Diana. It means no man can cross it, all right? This battalion has been here for nearly a year, and they barely gained an inch.
This scene was so great that it always sticks in the memory. This entire scene was everything Wonder Woman represents. A demi-goddess hero. We can't save anyone in this war, but this scene proves we can. Gal Gadot ate this scene with that slow-mo part. Fierce, beautiful face and calm demeanor with her Amazon warrior fighting style. The reason why this scene was an ass kicker is that this goes way deeper than just giving satisfying action stunts. This scene also appeals to the audience's emotions. No Man's Land scene is played with the audience's childhood imagination that a war hero is possible, that everyone could be saved in a war, that a godlike rescue is coming. This is one freaking badass because Wonder Woman embodies all of this in that scene. No Man's Land was more than just an action scene, but the enormity and symbolism in it were heart-stopping. I guess this scene isn't just remembered by its fast, elaborated fighting sequence, but by the impact of the scene itself. And this is what the No Man's Land scene is all about. In this scene, Diana becomes Wonder Woman in a deeper sense, and that's why this is a scene to remember. Tires screeching, engine rumbling, streets blasting. This is one of the main scenes that gets heavily featured in the trailer, so we're prompted to expect a lot, and we did get a lot. The Batpod chase scene is pretty cool, full of thrill and artistry, proving that Dark Knight is an awesome action crime fiction film. The sound effects and the truck flip were jaw-dropping. This scene is practically hardcore because it's a vehicle fight in the first place, serving the audience a different perspective in an action scene. The long gliding shots were just wow. I guess it's the editing that makes this scene badass as well. You won't see a lot of punches or armed fights here, but this scene manages to make vehicle chases suspenseful. And rather than showing us impressive fist fighting skills, we got served with incredible driving skills.
Harvey Dent. Oh, excuse me, I want to drive.
With the explosive moments throughout, the entire chase scene is essentially beautifully built up, even without a music background, just Joker's crazy personality and well-crafted chase choreography. The part where the Batmobile turns into a Bat motorcycle and Batman rides it like a boss, plus the way the wheels are turning up with some cinematic elements in some frames, all these combined makes this chase scene pretty badass.
Come on, I want you to do it. Come on, hit me. Hit me.
Here to report a terrible crime.
And what terrible crime is that?
This one.
Spunky chick beating up dudes. The incorporation of Harley Quinn's gymnast ability in her fighting style is what makes the choreography of this scene different from the rest. The slow-mo, the kicks, and the crazy laugh are just brute. The detail, script, and cinematography of this scene were well thought. Well, what could be even more suspenseful than a scene where a woman was surrounded by all the tough bad guys and successfully knocked them down with her acrobatic fighting style. Plus, the sprinkling water added to the mood. Harley Quinn here literally showed us how to win a fight without a deadly weapon, just incredible fighting skill, a cute face, and a bit of a crazy demeanour. And the truth that Harley actually came to the prison for a kid was heart-touching too. Well, that helps build up the emotional charge in this scene, but I think that what really makes this scene badass is that Margot nailed Harley's character here in all its single detail, like the way she storms in the police station and tears them all like tissue paper, and though it's a combat of one versus many, she was excellent in creating an impression on Harley's character that she's not the kind of woman you want to mess with.
Where can I find Cassandra Cain?
Non-lethal. You lose.
This is brutal. The fight concept of this scene is savage. Peacemaker upping each other on a kill is kind of disliking, but in terms of fighting stunts, this scene nailed it off. And shooting a ripple backward was a real show-off. That part where they realised they killed the wrong people and one of them answered, "I turned them into my mother in my head and killed them," was just hilarious.
Why did my people not alert me of your arrival?
We didn't see any people.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody.
There's no one out there.
I turned them into my mother in my head and killed them.
Though this appears like a juvenile romp at first, if you think about it, this scene was a thought-provoking reflection on trauma, parent issues, and much more as well. That's the element that makes this scene badass, because this is a violent masterpiece. Hilarious and vulgar, though the fight scenes are sporting blood, it's not that heavy and gory because the Peacemaker characters are funny, their dialogues make this scene light somehow. Besides the incredible stunts and show-off of skills, weapons and powers, the scene nailed it in terms of an effective portrayal of the characters. We could see those gunfights and silent attacks in other movies, but I guess we love this scene more because of the characters who were in it, and they were just so cool in there.
No one likes to show off.
Unless what they're showing off is dope as
That's true.
It's all right now.
This scene is a piece of art. The CGI here was fantastic. The moment when Flash entered the Speed Force was an incredible depiction of Flash's power. The way his suit lights up, the slow-mo parts, and the internal dialogue were all perfection.
Whatever happens, I want you to know. Your kid was one of them, Dad.
This isn't just pure action, but the entire scene was suspenseful and emotional. This was a nice inclusion in the movie's climax, featuring a pretty creative method of visual illustration of how time rewinding was done before the explosion, serving as a terrific capstone to Flash's story in the movie. This was a fantastic scene that was worthy of the build-up. That part where Flash clutches Cyborg's back was emotionally evoking. Here we get more revelation about Flash's power too. Overall, the CGI is what really wraps this scene. It all incorporated well with the plot and the actor's performance. Yeah, and if you're a physics fan, you'll be impressed at how Flash's power works here. As he told himself, you just gotta go faster than the speed of light. And wow, we didn't expect Flash's speed to go further beyond time. He unlocked time travel. This scene is just perfectly kick-ass. The suspense, the darkness around, plus the background music. This scene feels like you're in a video game. Batman walking to the gunfire was so cool. And well, not to mention the artistic choreography in this fight scene where it was totally black, like literally, there was no light around except for the guy with a flashlight and, well, the barrage of gunshots. The fighting style successfully showed Batman's ability that he can see in the dark. But what makes this scene hardcore is the realism of it. Imagine how the bad guys adrenaline pumps because they're fighting against someone they can't see and they don't even have time to react because they just randomly get shot in seconds. I guess nothing beats close combat with big guns, except Batman that is. This Batman scene gives us a visual feast. It was like the whole thing was planned out to carefully embody and depict that he's indeed the Shadow. This dark hallway scene was nothing else but an iconic masterpiece. It's more about Batman's fight strategy rather than the fight itself that insanely sets it. This is an iconic scene. The way Superman dismantles the Justice League team was entertaining. What was purely shocking was when Superman's eyes slowly darted at the Flash. The look on Flash's face was utterly amusing when he realized that Superman could keep up with his speed. It was a surprise too for the audience, which makes us wonder if Superman has always been as fast as Flash. But well, I don't think so. Putting the element of surprise, particularly in the interaction of Superman and Flash, is what pulled this scene off. Plus, that real struggle of taming the newly resurrected Superman was a breath stopper, putting us in real anticipation, which makes us think, was it really a good idea to resurrect Superman in the first place? Well, if you ever wondered why Superman seemed to overpower the other Justice League members, here it was because they didn't want to hurt him. They just wanted to restrain him.
Arthur, we need to restrain him.
And as if that side-eye moment was enough, Superman literally exchanged a fist fight with Flash and even knocked him down despite using his super speed.
You won't cry like him, will you? You're not afraid of death. You're like me.
The only thing that you and I have in common, Mr. Creedy, is we're both about to die.
This scene is an exact depiction of how knives win over guns. This is badass because we get to see Vendetta's seamless fight strategy captured in detail during the camera's slow motion moments. Well, I guess I need to warn you that this scene is fast, bloody, and brutal. Nothing beats a mystery man asking for a bloody payback. The way gunfire just blasted is giving some kind of Matrix vibe here. Seeing Vendetta unharmed was surprising, but what really carried the scene was the stunts. Vendetta throwing knives at such speed and style was so cool that you'll wonder if that kind of combat skill is achievable in real life. And that headshot? Merciless. Well, I guess it's the use of martial arts, ingenious weapons, and the elements of surprise that carry this scene. You'll be amazed then at how the mask doesn't even limit his peripheral vision. Anyway, that's a question for the experts, isn't it? Victor Hugo was great in using his body language to portray an exceptional character with great combat skills, and the bottom line is, this scene is really badass with great visuals that really gave us the vibe of a dystopian society.
Why won't you die?
Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh.
Oops. Y'all jokers must be crazy.
This is the strongest scene in this movie. This is cool because Will Smith was a kick-ass here. He really embodies the Floyd Lawton character here and wows us with his perfect firing skills that you'll just be left in awe every time Deadshot pulls a trigger. He even makes us wonder if his shooting skill is really accurate. Come to think of it, he can literally hit the exact same spot when firing an automatic weapon. Well, maybe. But it's just amazing to watch that he wasted no bullets in this scene. Another thing to take note of was the small details here that added to the vibe of this scene. The reloading of guns, good grips and shooting technique make this scene realistic. The point where he was persuaded to pull the trigger to see if the gun was safe adds to the tension in the situation. If there's one good thing about this scenario, it's that it does an excellent job of displaying intriguing characters. In fact, this was entirely breath-stopping, not because of the other elements, but because Deadshot was there. And that moment when he finished raining bullets at the target in the range was just shockingly unexpected.
Let me tell you the price. First, I want out of here. Second, I want full custody of my daughter. All right?
Freeze! Stand down! You will...
There's a lot of tension in this scene. Although it's too late for the SWAT to disengage, it's Batman's nature to save everyone. So Batman having to fight both the team of good guys and Joker's goons was a stressful race against time while using all of his skills and gadgets while not breaking his rules and moral code. And speaking of gadgets, Batman's sophisticated technology clearly had a good exhibition here, and that sight-modifying technology of his was so cool. How come I didn't get to see more of that in his fight scenes? His blue radiant eyes give a different vibe too. But what really gets me here is that this isn't just a show-off of a kick-ass fight, but this is peak heroism. There was meaning behind the action sequence as Batman achieved his mission of protecting innocent lives without killing any of the SWAT team members who were about to open fire. The build-up elements here adds to the beauty of this scene as I see Batman demonstrating his intelligence as he planned last minute after finding out the SWAT got the wrong people to kill. And with that best music scoring, this scene sums up everything Batman should be about.
We got him. He's out of the game.
Step away from the edge!
Superman's eyes here are smirking. The way his eyes darted a look was freaking cool, but let's not forget how this scene became the reason why we became Superman fans as a kid. And yeah, this scene still sells pretty well even today. Like, how could he just step into the bullets? And that eye shot in the end, it's beyond words. Just whew. I guess this is the most distinct scene from the entire Superman franchise. Shooting cops in the face isn't good for Superman, and so this scene shows us how it isn't really fine for him. So far, this is the best rescue in the Superman franchise. It was able to demonstrate how powerful Superman is, and if there's one element that wrapped this scene, it's the display of power. This proves to us that Superman is Superman, bulletproof and indestructible. And one more thing, it's unexpected how bullets just bounce on his suit. Well, that's something we don't always see in the recent Superman franchise. Here we see not Superman's super speed, nor super fighting skills. We could even mistake this as just a simple scene until the eye shot came in. The Batmobile scene was the best car scene in Batman history. It's crazy cool to see the Batmobile emerge unscathed from the explosion. With all action elements present, darkness and high-speed chase, concluding the Penguin's defeat makes this the most beautifully photographed Batmobile sequence in any Batman film. That upside-down shot was dramatically beautiful. The greatness of this Batmobile scene was in the depiction of Batman's vehicle in action that, like it's a driver, it's lurking in the shadow. That part really gets us. The screeching tires, blasting flames and Penguin's menacing laughter, only to be pounced like prey in the end with a deafening sound like that we see in a horror movie. I think it's the total cinematography and the colour grading that really sets the mood of this scene, aside from its, of course, excellent chase choreography. Well, that's what makes this scene pretty cool, but what really truly distinguishes this scene from any other Batman car chase is how all of those aspects fit together and how they all contribute to the plot, and most impressively, how this scene reflects who this Batman is.
I want my phone call.
The abdomen bomb was a unique plot concept for this scene. This is perhaps something I didn't see in other movies. What makes this cool is that the scene really pulled off showing how cunning the Joker is, and oh, that clap before the blast was just creepy psycho too. The Joker was like sending a message in his clap that something terrible was about to happen. Well, I guess one of Joker's talents was penetrating someone's psyche with his sad boy words. It's also puzzling how Joker manages to convince that guy in the cell to let the phone buried into his skin. How did he even do that without getting noticed? This really says much about Joker's abilities. Oh, Joker didn't make me laugh here, he stuns me. This is a highlight of his character, merciless, cunning and psychopathic. One thing's for sure, this scene was a good depiction of Joker's character, his resourcefulness, unpredictable violent nature, and willingness to go to great lengths just to achieve his goal, as well as his capacity to instill confusion in a pretty secure situation. I mean, that's evident in how he talked to the police hostage. All of these were knitted together and the result was savage.
In their last moments, people show you who they really are. So, in a way, I knew your friends better than you ever did.
For dark side. Not impressed.
And that electro axe goes lame just like that. The contrast is Superman's I'm not impressed scene is incredibly impressive. This scene was freaking badass. When faced with Steppenwolf, the power leveling wasn't even equal, and it even takes a team of DC superheroes to take him down. But in this scene, we get a clear view of Superman's power. It was like Superman was proving again that he's the guy who always saves the day, and whoops, he quickly blocked his shoulder, and the next thing was jaw-dropping. Once in Superman's suit, by the way, this part where Steppenwolf's axe didn't even give him a scratch was so thrilling. And his next line, I'm not impressed, with that smirk on his face, just took the thrill to the next level. Imagine Steppenwolf's axe was capable of breaking large chunks of land, but then it becomes useless when faced with Superman. What's even more shocking was when the powerful electro axe quickly melted beneath Superman's breath. Phew, This scene just took seconds, and it was so great that you'd remember every detail of it. Not to mention that the camera movement and angles really did a good job of making this scene fiercer. This shows how you wouldn't like getting abducted by Batman, especially if you've got a fear of heights. This scene is an exact depiction of who Batman is, a wealthy guy with great physical and technological power. All these were shown throughout this scene. It's just amazing how Batman really becomes a bat in here. That part where he jumps off from the skyscraper, spreading out his cape, the shots, the swing and the Dark Knight background all just complemented to give a definition of a hero, a Batman. The sophistication of his gadget, his ability, his brilliant planning and his combat skills were exhibited in this scene, and we were just silent, expectant and in awe. Like, woo! The camera shots, the action sequence and the suspense, how could all of these blend it so well? Even though this is a crime fiction world, the setting in this scene is realistic and it extends to how Batman fights. Here I see a superhero whose skills aren't exaggerated. This scene wasn't just cool, but this is necessary in establishing the scope of the movie and of course Batman's character. Called hand-to-hand combat, glass breaking, flying, this scene was just bold and cinematic.
He's dead, Rorschach. While everyone's distracted, we thought we'd bring you a little housewarming gift. Something from the machine shop.
While a riot's going on, there's the calm Rorschach. This is messy and brutal. Hearing that finger bone breaking was violently horrible. The scene will just carry you through its fighting sequence, and the next thing you'll notice is that it's done, and you'll be asking for more. Well, this is a cool prison fight scene in the sense that it's serving a character who fights like a psychopath. A brawler with zero hesitation. And oh my god, we didn't expect that finger breaking would turn into an arm slicing. That's bloody crazy. But what's even crazier is how Rorschach didn't even blink as big guy's arms were cut before his face, like OMG. How he remains casual after cutting the dude's arms was disturbing, yet to admit, makes this scene bloody badass. Rorschach owns this scene. It's an exhibit of his character, a glimpse of his fighting prowess that he's got sucker punches, and it was all evident with that toilet part. And I can't stress enough how psychopathic he is. He's a tenacious maniac who has a clear mind when it comes to violence. See how he even sits calmly with blood splattered on his face while waiting for his cell to break? He's horribly in character.
Never disposed of sewage with a toilet before. Obvious, really. 2-0. Your move.
This is an intense fight scene. It's funny that just when the thugs with big guns are expecting Batman to come out from the door, he comes breaking through the floor. This is a one-to-one match, a brutal brawl. The camera works to help highlight Batman's combat skills and speed. Batman's hulking fighting style and motions resemble those of Batman in the popular Arkham video games. In many aspects, his blocks, strikes and dodges appear to be quite identical to the game. It's really cool how his attacks are quick, like he never spends much time on one opponent until they're down, yet spreading out the attack to reduce their chance to use their handguns. And when some are eventually able to obtain a gun, whoops, he's quick to induce confusion in the opponents, and before they know it, their weapons are overpowered by his. This is a super cool superhero fight scene in terms of fighting techniques, because here we see a detailed depiction of how Batman wins his battle. The entrance was everything about love in this scene. Its superb fight choreography was really excellent in showing how bad guys with big guns tried to attack together, but still got knocked down by one person. So that's our list of the top 25 most badass DC movie scenes of all time. Make sure to like and subscribe, and in the meantime, here's another video you might want to check out.